Okay, getting sorted for our chat today with Mary Ray from Stilo here company. Just going to see if I can see if Mary's there. There she goes. Hi, Carrie. Hey, Mary.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's really hot. I'm sitting outside because my family's watching a movie inside. Oh my God, nice. I'm boiling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't it funny, the weather? Let's talk about that to start with. We had... Yesterday was like a cold, overcasty type of day. The day before was a beautiful, sunny, warm day. This is in Auckland and you're in Whitianga. And today is another beautiful, sunny day, cloudless sky. So
yeah, it's stunning here. We kind of live in like this little kind of microclimate here, you know, like you think that the weather's going to come over the hills and then all of a sudden it just heads out to sea and we have really, really stunning days when everybody else is having terrible weather.
Yeah, so that's a really good reason to live in Whitianga.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely.
So we've got a whole lot of people joining us today, Mary, on the feed. Just like to do some formalities, you know, the usual kind of stuff, you know, turn your phone. No, we don't say that. We're not in a live seminar now, are we? We're online, so you don't need to turn your phones off.
I don't know. This is my first rodeo.
And it's the first one that I've hosted, so together we're going to learn. But I think probably the key to today is we can see each other and it looks like people can hear each other. So if you can hear us, everybody, just give us a thumbs up or a wave. See Pip's there.
Hey, Pip.
Looks like we're getting a wave from some people. But yeah, this is interesting times for the way we do things, isn't it? So
it certainly is. It's incredible what you can do, you know, in isolation without being face to face.
Yeah, and sounds like everyone can hear us. We're getting some love hearts. We're getting some thumbs up. So we're all good. So
awesome.
Thanks for joining us today on. What is it, NZARH Radio or whatever we want to call this, the live feeds, the Instagram takeover. I'm Malcolm from Salon Business Coach. I help out on the association executive. So I was asked would I like to host some of these events, and I thought, well, you know, you've got to step out of your comfort zone at some time and do this sort of thing. So it's definitely out of my comfort zone, but at the same time, I'm looking at a familiar face, and so it's nice to have someone that's in the same position as me. So welcome, Mary.
Hi,
Mary,
everyone.
Hi. Mary has a salon in Whitianga, and it's a fantastic salon, actually. It's a concept salon. And what was it? A wee while ago, Mary, she and a girlfriend, I think over a glass or maybe a bottle or two of wine, decided to join forces and create this concept in Whitianga where there's a hair salon and a fashion house or a fashion studio got together and operate in cohabitation very successfully. So I understand, Mary, that both businesses have taken off. So tell us a little bit about
really
that.
Well.
Yeah? What works about it?
Well, everyone will know that, you know, hair and clothes and makeup, you know, it's all part of one image. And so Vicky's business is, she's got loads of New Zealand labels. She's got some from overseas, but she preferably chooses New Zealand labels.
Cool.
And it works really well because clients and her customers and that can sort of come over and onto our side, and it creates a really cool buzz in the shop. Cool. Yeah. So it does work really well, hand in hand. Yeah.
And I guess it can't hurt to have the latest fashion right next door.
Absolutely
even
not.
Coming across your doorstep to be first dibs on.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
we had a client ring us one day, and she said, "Oh, you charged me twice." And we were like, "Oh, okay, that's a bit strange. How much did we charge you?" And she goes, "Well, you charged us charged me 115, and then 10 minutes later you charged me 120, and we're like, oh, that's a bit weird. And we thought about it, and I had a chat to Vic, and it turns out she had her hair done and was so stoked she went and bought a top.
Okay, there you go.
So,
She didn't realise.
There you go, it works, yeah.
It works, brilliant. And so tell me, Mary, what have you been up to over the imposed lockdown
Over
as
lockdown?
a salon owner? What are the things you've been doing? I've heard some stories.
I have not been sitting around, put it that
No.
way. I've actually found it a really busy time.
Have you?
And it's actually given me the breathing space to sit down and look at some of our, policies and procedures and rework some of the stuff that we do in the salon in regards to policies and procedures. And so I've been Zooming with my team, and we've been talking about what it's going to look like when we come out of lockdown, and how we're going to manage our clients and what we're going to do. And that's been quite cool to hear some of the things that they want to put forward as well.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I've been really busy.
So really the only difference is in the last, say, 3 to 4 weeks for you is you haven't been doing clients here.
Pretty much.
It's kind of business as usual, business as unusual, but working on the business.
Certainly.
And
working
doing
on
the things.
business.
Yeah,
and
doing the things.
I've never really been very good at putting time aside to do those sorts of things.
Right.
And I know you say it to me all the time, got to work on your business. But yeah, no, I've been doing heaps of that sort of thing. And I've really found that the NZARH resources have been awesome to help me with that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So what
Has anybody
sort of things...
checked that out?
I don't know. Give us a comment if you've checked out in the NZARH website resources for the COVID-19.
Cam, no rest for the wicked. No, there certainly isn't.
No.
Not at my house.
Yeah, well, depends how wicked you are, I guess, to how much rest you get. But let us know in the comments if you have found the resources on the website useful. They're being updated almost daily. In fact, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And there's a high.
Even from yesterday, I noticed there's been a few more things added. That's been really helpful.
And a little bit of inside information. There is going to be a lot more coming in the next few days as well. So but anyway, Wabi Sabi Salon says very helpful. Cool. Yep, real helpful. Thanks, says BHB Academy. So, yeah, cool. Just keep letting us know. But, Mary, I just want to jump back, and we'll get back to maybe we can talk about some of the resources that you have been using. But just before we do that, I've heard a whisper that there's a resurgence of a hairdressing technique in your family. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about that. What's been going down in Whitianga?
Well, we had been doing a few in the salon prior, but it definitely didn't take me long to get the perm rods out and perm the boys' hair. They were really into it.
The boys' hair?
The boys' hair, yeah. I've got an 11-year-old and a 12-year-old, and it's the latest trend, apparently. If you want to be a YouTuber, you got to get a perm.
Get a perm. Okay, so the perms have been rocking it in the Mary household. Well, it must be useful for those boys to have a mum as a hairdresser.
Yeah, except, oh my God, they're so freaking difficult. They're like, Mum, it's not curly enough. You have to do it again. I'm like, well, it doesn't work like that, boys. I can't do it again.
Rods.
Yeah.
So
not curly enough.
You'll be using toothpicks next.
Yeah.
To wipe.
They love it though. Oh my goodness, it's hilarious.
So perms are big for boys. Is that what you're saying?
Certainly are.
Is that the Stilo prediction for the
official
coming winter?
Word?
The official word from Stilo here is perms are it for boys in the future. And what about girls? Are girls going to be perming as well? Getting perms?
I haven't seen it.
No?
We get the, and I'm sure everybody would, get the girls that want the beach waves, so they think they're going to have a perm, but it's really not like that at all.
Yeah.
But definitely the boys are.
Okay, cool, excellent. So just jumping back from those boys' perms back to, say, some of the resources and back to business, and what are say one of the 2 key ones that you found very useful that you've picked up on and been able to utilise in working on the business for you?
I actually found, I've got it up here so I can refer back to it. There's health regulations, hairdressers' health regulations. And I found that even when I was setting up the salon, I found some of these kind of official resources, say from councils and that, I found them really hard to get a hold of. And then, you know what hairdressers are like. We can't read all of that jargon. It takes too long. It's boring. So what I really like about the regulations that you guys have done is that, by the way, they're in the members bit. So if you're not a member of NZARH, you won't be able to see these, but these are the perks of being a member. And what you've done, let me just bring it up, is you've actually highlighted all the bits that we actually need to know and left out all the rubbish that we don't need to know, basically. So it's not going to take you hours and hours of reading things and none of it making sense in that. You can go on to the health regulations, the official ones, and NZARH have basically highlighted everything that you need to know. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah, that was really helpful.
So relevant to the hair industry, what you,
Very relevant,
as you say, all the other rubbish or probably irrelevant
it's not rubbish,
information.
But it's irrelevant, yeah.
It's not pertinent to the hair salon, so you don't really need to read through it all to find the hair salon stuff. It's already been highlighted for you. Somebody's diligently done that, and probably in a dark room with a light on. I have no idea, but it might have even been Nick, the chair. He might have been up at the wee small hours of one morning doing it. I don't know. But
you guys have been really, really busy.
It's been a busy time for the exec, yes, it has been. But you sign up for that sort of thing when you sign up for it. As a volunteer on an organisation that's a member-based organisation. So it's pretty cool. It can be a bit harrowing at times, but other than that,
I can imagine
it's getting the job done. So what else in there that you've found useful, Mary? Anything else? Just one more thing that we can.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Not that I'm making anyone redundant, but you've got things like your redundancy process guidelines, you've got business continuity, your plans, lots of things that are just going to make it really easy for us just to, get going.
Get back into it,
Yeah. I just find all that really helpful.
Cool. And I do know that there's some checklists coming. There's also quite a large, I guess we call it a tutorial, not a tutorial, a form really, of pretty much everything to do with COVID up until now. So that's being worked on as we speak.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that actually, because as you know, I've been trying to work on one myself. Basically like a formal salon pandemic policy and procedure, basically, and it's been really, really difficult. I found anyway. So I'm really looking forward to see what you guys are going to bring out for that.
Yeah, so look forward to that in the next probably the next 2 or 3 days. But then, as you said, and as I've said, it's almost daily that there's things going up, popping up on the website. So if you've been looking at the website and are a member and had looked at it a week ago, jump back into it again today, because you'll find there's a lot more information, and it does look quite different. That's pretty cool. So how easy have you found it to actually navigate through the COVID-19 process, if you call it, as a business owner? Tell me a little bit about that. Did you find it really, easy to follow? Was it confusing? Just what was it like?
In general, in like the whole process, it's definitely been confusing, because the information that we're getting from the government and from everywhere else, education, the schools, oh my God, homeschooling, shoot me now, that is just beyond me. But it's been quite hard because there's so much misinformation out there. And I think people tend to just jump on the first thing that they see, and it's a bit like a virus, really. It just multiplies, and
a lot of hearsay, and then all of a sudden it becomes truth, and then this is what's happening, and it's like, no, actually, if you go back to the original document, it said this might be the case. And I think also when the government first kind of went into that level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they went into the from level 2 to level 4 quite quickly, there weren't a lot of guidelines around it because it was so quick that they hadn't actually written guidelines. So all of a sudden we were all sort of craving information, and information wasn't there. So when you don't have information at hand, you make up your own information. And I think a lot of that was happening. It's like, well, that's in my head, so that's my truth. But
absolutely.
I think coming out this other side of it, when we start to go back into business in level 2 for the hairdressers, and face-to-face type businesses, I think we're going to find a lot more guidelines. They are a lot clearer. As we found, I mean, NZRH, and there has been people saying, well, we need to have someone lobbying for hairdressers, to the media.
I did see a comment about that.
Yeah, and it's a great thought. Yes, NZRH do lobby government as much as they can. In fact, I know that Nick has got probably screeds and screeds of letters that he's written to government, phone calls that he's made, and we've all kind of contributed to as much as we can to get government to recognise hairdressing. And I think we see that when we went into level 3 and level 4, there was nothing about hairdressing. We weren't mentioned. But now, if you look at it
now
coming out, one of the first organisations mentioned was hairdressing, or industries mentioned was, well, hairdressing can't. You cannot go back hairdressing at level 3. You have to wait to level 2. So it was very clear, which was a good thing.
And my team and I have been zooming a bit and talking about what level 2 might look like, and having a little think about the restrictions that probably will be put in place when we do go back to level 2 and what that will look like. And we've thrown some ideas around, and we're thinking maybe we'll split into teams, and we may work 7 days but split into smaller teams to kind of manage that a little bit more. There's 8 of us, and 3 of those are apprentices. And we're really busy all the time. We can have loads, the salon will be chocker. So it's been, we've been trying to think about different ways of managing that as well. But the team's been really good at giving me input as well.
And that's great that you've got the team involvement, because one of the things I've heard from a lot of people is that their teams are sitting at home and what can I get them to do other than go online and do some training? Well, there's things like, help me as the owner make decisions on how we can work when we get back out of this. And also, maybe we can do some work on our culture. I heard a salon owner, I spoke to a salon owner yesterday, one of my clients in Wellington, and they had she'd just come off a Zoom call from her team meeting. But what they had done was they had all decided that they would dress up in grease gear, the old, the one that you want. They dress up in the grease gear, and they had a dance instructor who showed them the moves to do to the music with grease. And so they had about, I think it was about an hour where they were all learning to do the grease dance, and that was their team meeting.
Zoom?
Over Zoom, and I loved that idea. I thought it was so, because a lot of salon owners say to me, "How do I get my staff to come to the meetings?" And when they do come, they're all sitting there going, "Another meeting," So one of the keys to that is make it fun, And so Lisa yesterday, she certainly created fun for her team, and they all came.
Oh, Lisa,
in their 50s gear. And so they had a lot of fun apparently. So if you're struggling with something to do with your team while we're still closed down, maybe come up with some creative ways of introducing that sort of thing in fun to the meetings. Because once people are having fun, you can then draw on that fun and draw out of them, some creative ways of actually managing the coming back into the business. So tell me, I also believe, other than this particular session today, you're also a bit of a movie star in other areas that I've heard of in the Coromandel. Tell me about the claim to fame as a business owner in the Coromandel.
That is coming. But basically, TCDC, which is our council, are just getting some of the best businesses on the Coromandel, I guess, just to do a quick video, to say hi, and just to basically reiterate that message of staying home and staying safe. And a bit of mental health as well, because I know it hasn't been easy for me, stuck in the house with 3 boys and a dog and a 100-year-old lady, and oh my goodness, it's
Is one of those boys your husband?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, three boys.
3 boys.
Yeah. Which one's the highest maintenance?
Well, it'd be the one that doesn't have a perm, I guess.
The husband. Okay.
He wouldn't let me perm his hair.
Okay. Sorry. Back to the movie star.
Yeah. So I'm going to be putting that out shortly. I'll send it to TCDC. Basically, just saying hi to everybody, and just really pushing that message. If you don't need to be out, then stay at home and keep everyone safe.
And I guess, and that's great. And I guess that the message that I get out of what you're doing there is that any sort of marketing for the business is good marketing. And if it's doing a 2-minute video for the local council to say, hey, we're a business, we're here, we're hurting, but we're also supporting what's going on. Take the opportunity to do anything like that. So fantastic. Well done, you. Having a good time. Oh, hey guys, while you're watching, I'm seeing all these names coming up, and I'd love to say hi. Like there's one just there, Tammy Young. She's just come up. So hi to everyone joining us, and
laughing emojis.
Say g'day, laughing emojis. Yeah, I don't know whether she's laughing at your glasses or my hat. My hat is there for a reason, if you're wondering. It's it's a bad hair day for me today. In fact, I'm 7 weeks overdue for a haircut. So
for a haircut,
it's looking a bit fluffy. So I thought it's a hat day today. But
I've had loads and loads of messages, emails, and that from clients coming through and saying hi. But everyone is desperate. There is going to be such a stampede, and I think if we can hold on, then I think we're really going to come out of this in a fairly good position, I think. I'm actually looking forward to getting back
to work. And I think from what my feeling is that from who I've chatted about with this is people are kind of a little bit thinking it's going to be Christmas week. When they go back to the salon. And I'm not sure that Christmas week's probably the best description of it, because remembering Christmas week, you've kind of got 3 clients all with colour on their hair, and you're cutting another one, and you've got a blow waver going on over the other side, and that's just you. So and the team are all doing the same. But you're not actually going to be like that when you come back at level 2, because you've still got to keep your 2 metre distance.
No, we're going to be really restricted.
Yeah, you're going to be kind of like hitting the accelerator with the brake on. And I guess it's how you manage that. And you mentioned before that you're opening 7 days and you're operating shift work with the team.
That's the thought.
And it's more hours for the salon, but maybe similar hours for each team member, but getting as many clients satisfied as you can in the shortest possible time. So I think realistically it's going to be busy and you're going to be steady, but I'm not sure you're going to see the same amount of money and going into the till in the shortest amount of time. You will get it over time. So, absolutely. Just for the people that are watching through, if you've got any questions for Mary, because she's really good at answering questions, just pop a question in the comments box, or I think that's how you do it on this Instagram, and we can ask away. But what else have we got? I've got some notes here just in case I get lost. So I guess we should talk more about the resource page in the in the website. Is there anything in there that you think is a must-have? Aaron's Hairdressing says hello, Mary. So.
Oh, hey, Aaron. How's it going? And Lush, is that Lindsay?
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's Lush, Lindsay? Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Lindsay. A must-have. Well, a must-have, I think, is that pandemic policy that we're gonna see. But I'm just going back through these now.
Just while Mary's having a flick through the templates there and the things, if you're not a member of NZARH, we don't want to make this about joining NZARH, but it would be probably remiss of me not to mention that at the moment, to help people through this period of no income, if you're looking to get support and help with all things COVID and all things hairdressing that NZARH actually do have available, there's an offer if you join before the end of June. pretty sure, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's before the end of June, you get your first 3 months free. So if you join for a 12-month period, you'll get 3 months free, so that you're not having to dive into a lack of cash flow at the moment to actually pay out. And I'm not sure whether people realise, but it's quite a reasonable price. I mean, you can join for anywhere between about $25 and $60 a month, depending which level of membership you want. So there's a good thing. Jump onto the website and have a look.
Even if you're not a member, the resources that are on there, I think for the non-members, those are really quite good too. There's lots of free training videos and programs, from, I know L'Oreal's there and Weller's there as well, GHD and all that. I've been flicking those on to the girls to do a bit of study, and just keep it going. But even if you're not a member, there's some good resources.
Cool.
But there's even better ones if you are a member.
Yeah, well, one of the things that the NZARH actually relies on is membership to keep going, because we're not government funded. All the people that actually work within the executive and in the background are volunteers. So really, the more members that we can have, the more resources we can get, and the more we can do. So a lot of people thought that NZARH was all about competitions, and competitions certainly are a big part of what NZARH does. But the other side of it is all the business resources and the help that you can get and the advocacy to government. So I think that we can... Sorry, Mary, I just see Lush has said that, I think it's Lindsay, says she'll be joining. She just needs to get her council number.
Oh, her council number,
thanks, Lindsay. That's cool. Thank you. Sorry, what were you going to say, Mary?
What was I going to say? About how I think that pretty much everyone can agree that the government needs to be lobbied because we need to be regulated. And I think we can all agree that people need to be qualified, and we need to raise the bar and actually become a professional trade. And we don't tend to be given the same respect as, say, your other trades that you have to be qualified and you have those standards in that. So I think what you guys are trying to do in terms of that, and it's the same as Haito as well, they're pushing for that, but I think we can all agree that we need to be regulated and qualified, and anything that's going to help to push that through, like you guys and Haito and that, I know I want to be a part of. So I think all hairdressers that kind of push that, need to be qualified, need to join. Solidarity.
Okay. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Everyone?
Karen, thumbs up if you agree with Mary. Wabi Salon says yes.
Yeah.
Sarah was on one of these Instagram lives the other day, and I am just grateful that our live today isn't having the same technical issues that Sarah and Pip had the other day, because I don't know what
really? I missed that one.
Okay, yeah, there was a few technical issues, and I thought, gosh, if that happens when I'm doing this with Mary, I don't know which buttons to push or what to do to fix it. So
I wouldn't be able to help you. Sorry.
No,
I find Instagram quite just different. I'm old now. I didn't grow up. I haven't got the opposite. What are those thumbs that they reckon everyone's going to have in a few years' time? Anyway, hey, we're running out of probably time, because this is about a 20-minute, half hour slot, and it's great chatting. Well, we're about 27 minutes into it. So, wow.
Yeah, look, I haven't seen any questions come through. At this stage, I guess no one's got anything to ask.
Definitely is a learning curve, the whole social media thing. It's a full-time job.
It is. That's what I was going to say. We were talking. What was it? We were talking about the association and professionalism, and the point that I wanted to make, and we talked about it a few minutes ago. But the fact that before or at the beginning of the lockdowns in the level 1, 2, 3, and 4, hairdressing wasn't really on the radar of the government, and if it wasn't for the work of NZARH and the lobbying they did to government and to lots of different parts of the government as well, we probably wouldn't have been recognised as we have been now, and been sort of singled out, if you like, and said, right, this is what you as an industry must do. And so, when we get a group of people together and are able to go to government as a single force, we do start getting some traction. So, exactly. So,
I agree.
So thanks for everyone that was supporting that and continues to support that. And thanks to those people that maybe are going to come and join us on the 3 months free promotion that we've got going at the moment. But we were going to jump back and say...
I just want to ask Lindsay a question. She just said that she's outsourced her Instagram. How's that going? I'd really like to know how that's going and who you've outsourced it to. I think that'll be really cool. Even if you want to private message me, that's all good. Because I do really struggle, with, I work like really long hours and then I go home and I've got all this pitch and I've got to think up words for my posts.
And hairdressers are creative,
but I use all that up. I use that all up during the day and then I come home and everyone has like baked beans on toast because I can't think of what to cook.
Yeah, or a
You've
banana.
just done it and it's going good. Great. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I'm going to go and have a little nosy. Yeah, it's the content that I struggle with, the words, I don't know how all these like big fancy ones overseas and that do it.
I think there's a fine line. I mean, the key with social media is it's really kind of social media. So it's not marketing, but it is marketing, because the marketing aspect of social media is the fact that you actually are relating to the person that you're talking to, just like you and I are chatting now. And so I think
sales posts and things, they just don't work for people.
Well, they do and they don't.
They're really salesy.
Yeah, but I think the key to outsourcing the social media aspect of your business is actually finding someone that can relate to how you are, who you are. Because if you just outsource it to a company and they don't really get what you're trying to do, then you end up with very detached kind of messages, because engagement is what you want. And so if you can find somebody that can help you with the engagement side of it.
Oh, yes. I've heard of Hayley.
Yeah, I saw that come up. And she is one who knows the industry. So her organisation, I think a lot of them are really, industry-related people. And so, anyway. Well, look, I don't want to overstep our time. People are busy. I don't know, are they? They're all on lockdown, I suppose. Who's busy, who's not. Everyone's got things to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just want to say thanks, Mary. It's been really cool catching up with you.
Thanks for having me. I've
sort
of stepped outside my comfort zone today by doing this. I am terrified. I'm terrified of video, but I'm not anymore.
Cool.
No,
all right. Well, maybe we'll see some Stilo Hair & Co. Live videos coming up in the future.
You may. Yes, you may.
Yeah. See, Lindsay said that she's based in Aussie and she's amazing. So
I've heard really good things about her.
Yeah. All right, guys. Look,
cool. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody.
Mary. I'm just going to reiterate that if you want to join NZARH, now's the time. You get 3 months free from the moment you join. I think it goes till the end of June. Just check the details on the website, which is nzhairdressing.co.nz. If you want to check Mary out on socials, it's Stilo Hair & Co., which is STILO Hair & Co. or Hair Co. Stilo. If you type in Stilo, generally, their business comes up.
You'll find us.
And is the clothing side doing online sales, Mary?
Yes, they are. They are, but they're only allowed to sell winter clothes. I really don't. I can't wrap my head around how they can police that or whatever, Yeah. So she's only allowed to sell coats and scarves and.
So anyway, if you're keen on a bit of fashion, I'm sure she's got it all on the website. Stilo Design.
Yep, she has Stilo Design. Yep.
All right, guys, and
cool.
Mary, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm going to have to try and navigate turning this thing off and saving it to stories and all that sort of thing. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to say goodbye now, but you may see us still on the screen for a little bit whilst we read this out. But thanks for joining us. And,
cool, thanks, everybody. Nice to see you here.
Mary. Yeah, good to see you.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. See you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh gosh, now I just have to work out what I do here. Pip, you may have to type in some stuff. Oh no, hang on, I see the button at the end. Thanks.